Well, guys, we're here again with Dale, 3-year-old we have in training. I'm going to get him to get a little more life in him. And what I mean by that is I like to have him a little bit more of a working mindset. Um, he likes to be pretty lazy. And lazy's good, lazy's okay. But when you're trying to get more stuff done and more out of your mule, if they're being lazy while you're asking of it, um, it's going to be a lot harder to do, especially when it comes to leg cues and getting them into the trot and lope a little bit easier. And for him, I don't have to necessarily beg him, but it's one step close to it. He just gets lazy with you. So what I mean by that, I want him leaving with my legs, leg cue very light. I don't want him ramming into it and doing more than I ask him to, but I do want him light to my legs. Even just the start of it, I just want him to walk out. And I really don't usually care too much in the direction. I'm going to guide him a little bit, just simply for where we're at. But where it all starts is here from the standstill to the walk, and then from the walk to the trot, and then trot to the lope. So working on them transitions, getting them lighter to your legs, building a little bit of life in your mule. So first thing you need to be aware of is if I ask him to walk out here, how slow, how fast, and how much energy do I want him to use to walk out? That's where it starts. And also from the walk to the trot. Do I want him to go from a walk into a slow trot? Do I want him going into a fast trot or a medium trot? So those things you need to be aware of when you're trying to build life in your mule. So your energy has to match their energy a little bit, whatever you expect of them. So if I'm going to expect him to walk out and I just sit down real lazy and just ask him real slow like this and just ask him to do that, that's what I expect. But if you're asking him in that way and you're thinking he's going to walk out nice and get a good walkout, that's not going to be happening. So first things first, I'm going to sit up in the saddle. I'm going to come in here, be very light. He's walking out. He doesn't even want to walk out, so I'm going to do a lot more extra with my spurs and go into the trot. As soon as he hits that, my legs come back down to normal. Ask him to walk again. I'll get him to stop. So the next time, I'm going to sit down, relax. I'm going to sit up, come in with my legs, ask him to go. He was daydreaming. I'm like, come on. And all I wanted was a walk. But I'm going to have to do more so I can get lighter with it. So he gets a little bit lighter with my legs. So I'm going to ask, sit up, ask again. He started to go, but he did not respond to what I was asking of him. When I bring my legs in, I want him to come up to my body's energy, and he should have the same amount of energy. I don't want to be begging him along to go into the walk. So I'm sitting down, I sit up, I'm leaning forward, there. That's kind of what I was hoping for. Complete change of energy in his walk. So one thing you're going to have to realize to do is you got to be consistent with this. If you just ask him every once in a while to walk out to the expected walk that you're thinking of, that's not going to happen. You're going to have to be consistent on it every single time. So I'm going to sit here, sit up, ask him to walk out. That's pretty good. I had to remind him just a little bit. So there's from the standstill to the walk. And now I want him to walk out with some energy to him. He's walking out faster like we're going somewhere down the trail. At any point in time, I can slow my body down and get him to slow down, get to that slow little walk. But I do want to be able to pick up just a little bit of leg movement, a little more energy in my body for him to walk out. So from here, I'm going to ask him to trot. And it should be the same thing. I should be able to ask just a little bit of a squeeze and he should go into the trot. But if he's probably going to fail at this. Nope, there he is. He's that from the walk, from the standstill to the walk, he was able to go from there into the trot. We'll slow him down. Want a little more walk. There we go. A little more walk. There we go. So I'm going to come here to the right, walk up through here, and I'm going to ask him to trot. And here I'm asking him to trot. He was like, "Are you sure?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm sure." There we go. And I'm going to have him slow back down. So we're working a lot on the transitions, but it's how you work, how you go into them transitions is how you create life in your mule. I just want to squeeze. He failed. Like, come on. And he's far enough along. He's only 3, but he's far enough along to be a little more responsive to what I'm asking. And I'm not asking him to leave in a certain shape or form or direction necessarily. I just want him to have some life going. Just get up and go somewhere. So I'm going to ask him again. That was not nicer. More with just my calf instead of my spur. So I'm going to slow him down. I'm going to stop. So the next question would be to ask him, can he from a standstill go into a trot with some energy? I want him to trot all the way up by the fence. I want him to be trotting within a stride or 2. So I'm going to sit up, ask him, and he better keep going. There, I was like, come on. I kept pressing on him with my calves, and he didn't move. So I brought my spurs in with a quick roll of my spur to get him up into that. I'm going to slow him down again. Ask him to stop. I'll let him think on that just a little bit. I don't want him standing here long enough where he's falling asleep again when we're able to think a little bit about it. I'm going to ask him to go. Keep squeezing. That felt a whole lot better. For him, as a 3-year-old, I'm pretty happy with that. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of an idea. I just kept on squeezing with my legs, and that told him to go faster and farther than my walk. So hopefully that gives you an idea on getting them some life into you and getting them a little bit lighter to your legs. And this rolls on into from the trot into a lope. But that makes a little bit too long of a video for us to do probably here today. We might be able to get that later on. Have any questions, leave them in the comments. I can try to answer anything. You got a video you like to see or have a question about something as far as training, leave it in the comments or email us and we'll try to figure it out for you. Hopefully that was helpful. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.